Why, hello. I am going to try this mask review thing. If you don't know me, I'm Eric. I'm going to try doing a mask review without a script or anything. I'm just going to wing it and give my review on a Smiley Simontal Iowa Corey. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, I figured it would have been beneficial for an average customer, such as myself, to review a mask compared to someone who is highly known, such as AJ Good. Because I think when a maker knows they're making a mask for AJ, that they're going to make it perfect because they know it's going to be reviewed. Maybe the average customer, nobodies like me, will receive something a little lesser. So I think review from a guy like me will be beneficial. This is the mask. Based on the pictures that were promoted, it's pretty accurate. The stitching is not present. That is my main gripe. It's incomplete. Just looking at it, it looks proper. It looks like a proper Iowa mask. It's got the two buckles on the back. And when you look at it, it works. It's accurate, mostly. It's fair for the price that I paid for it. It was $220 USD. So, yeah. I don't really know what to say that's good about it, other than it looks proper. It looks right. It's mean, but in terms of criticisms, I have a lot of criticisms. For example, you can see the actual line that connects the two sculpts. I believe the front and the back are separate sculpts. They're then put together, but the line is very present and you can feel it. It's very rough and kind of sharp. I just kind of wish that it was a little more smoother. It's kind of messy. If you take a look at the stitching, not the stitching, but all the cracks in the head, they're all kind of messy. They got all the markings for stitches, but they're not stitched, which I thought was lazy and not proper in terms of selling someone a mask for 220 USD. But then again, you can get a stitched, accurate Iowa Corey for 220 USD from Jared Smalley. There is one feature of the mask that I really don't see a lot, and I don't think a lot of people know about. I did not know about this for a while. This nipple on the back of the head. Initially, I had thought it was like a security tag or something to just show that this is Smiley sculpt. I had no idea what this was. This is actually part of the mask. This nipple thing is a nipple, because the concept behind the mask I hear it's like other skin kind of stitched together to make new skin. So like, say when you burn yourself really bad, the doctor might cut off some skin somewhere else and put it on top of the burn. So this would be the concept of a nipple to kind of reinforce the idea. I'd like to thank Josh Jansen for informing me about the nipple on the back of the head. This is actually proper. I've never seen this on most sculpts, so props to Smiley for actually including small details like the nipple. The straps, they're pretty fair. The straps don't do a whole lot in terms of actually tightening it. It's a full head mask, so the size that it comes in is basically the size it's going to be. All it really does is kind of loosen it up so we can't slip off. It kind of just closes up this back gap a little bit, but you can like tighten it to the point that it's going to be snug on your head. Now on sizing, this is a big mask. It's big on the mannequin head, and it's big on my head. It doesn't hit the chin. The chin ends right about here, so all of this is kind of loose, which leaves a lot of wiggle room. They're a little rough, I think. Straps are straps, and ultimately I do not care, but they are a little rough, especially on the underside of them. They're kind of just very grainy. And speaking of grainy, the mask does feel very grainy. It's not as smooth as I would have figured it would be. You can like see lots of like little kind of like little spots of where paint had hardened and not really settled smoothly, but that's all just minor stuff. But it's present all throughout the mask. You can just feel all the little spots. Another thing about the mask that I don't really get is I feel like these lines could be darker. Like it's kind of faded here. I don't know if that was just all around working quickly or if this was intentional, but this bothers me quite a bit. Another criticism I have is the dreads. They look fantastic, but they're very stiff. They don't flop around. You can actually kind of bend the dreads and they'll stick. That form will stay. And when you're headbanging, instead of them flopping around too much, they're kind of just very, so, I don't know. I feel like the dreads could have been done better. They're very hard, but they aren't going to go anywhere. Looking inside, all the dreads are in there nicely. They're kind of tied together, so if one comes out, the rest will have to come out, so it kind of keeps one dread from falling out on its own. They're all done in a way so they stick together. But the main gripe I have is a lack of stitching. One thing that also bothers me quite a bit is the nose right here. I don't know if this is proper in the sculpt or not, but it always just looks kind of off to me, like it could have been done a little better. It kind of goes in nicely and then it kind of clumps out. I don't know, it just looks like a booger to me and kind of looks a little messy. It could have been a lot cleaner, I think, but that could just be the sculpt. I'm not sure if that's proper or not, but regardless, the shadows do make it black, so do with that what you will. I realize the majority of this video has been mostly negative. Do not get me wrong, I love this mask. It's fucking awesome. Just, I feel like when you see a mask and you go to buy it, you'll look at it face and think, yeah, that'll work. I like it. And then really, there's lots of these like hidden things that you really don't see until you can actually get your hands on it. Such as the seam right here, or just the all-around messiness of the cracks on the top and how it's not fully painted and it's kind of weak. Things could have definitely been more defined. More criticisms I can show now that the mask is on. It's just very loose. There's lots of wiggle room in there. You can easily fix it by just stuffing it. I like to use toques to stuff a big mask. Overall, it's not a bad mask at all. Smiley was very easy to contact and get a hold of. He's very communicative. Definitely not going to scam you in any way. Ordering is very official, more than most makers. You order directly through his website and you get a receipt, a tracking number, an order number. It's great. Just when you put it on and put face paint on it, it looks absolutely monster. Do not get me wrong. Despite his criticisms, it's not bad. This dread I think is inaccurate. It's supposed to be a little higher, I think, but it just has its flaws in areas and it's lacking stitching, so. But I think that maybe the price should be knocked down a little more if it's not going to be stitched. You know, I like when a mask maker gives those options. So hey, I can cut down the price a bit to help you out and let you do your own stitching. I think this mask is probably the best for its price and availability, because I know other reputable mask makers for an Iowa quarry follows Magamouth. I think his name is pronounced Johns, or I don't know how to pronounce his name. He makes a really good one, but he doesn't make them anymore, so you can only find his used. Next in line would probably be Jared Smalley, but he's very over encumbered with orders, so you can rarely actually get a hold of him and have him take an order. It's usually kind of like, oh, window's open and it's gone in 5 minutes. But he makes a great Iowa for the same price. As for availability, there's Ian Lundquist. You'll have to wait a couple months, but he always takes orders. His mask is a little pricey, and I think it's not the best. It looks kind of weird. The stitching on it is black when it's supposed to be white. The eyes are kind of spread out and a little big. It's kind of like an anime Cory, I think. But it's still a good mask, and his dreads are also really good. And then the other one I can think of would be Ron Sambile. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm bad with names, I'm sorry. So I think for the price, and the availability, and how easy it was to order through Smiley, I definitely recommend. And as you see, it's still absolutely killer. Be sure to throw some comparison shots right here. And yeah, it works out pretty well. I'll just give you a couple more mean looking shots with the face paint on.